Campbell, glory unto the Most High, Yah. I just want to thank Him for this day. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I actually was working on this video last night until I realized that the video stopped recording and ran out of memory. So I had to erase a few things and start working on it all over again. But this one is going to be a special video that the world needs to know, which I know they're not going to know until the end comes because the world's under a great delusion. So you see the title says Kikongo, the language of creation, the real Hebrew. Why do I say this is the language of creation? Because what I'm about to show you is what the revelation the Most High has given to me, to other brothers and other individuals the end of last year. Try to turn this phone off so I could do this. Yeah, so where was I? Okay, yeah, so I was getting this revelation last year from some individuals that I met, and they gave me this revelation, and it's been amazing to know that, in these times we are still getting new information, fresh revelation from the Most High about what's really going on, and everything that's being hidden is coming into the light. Because what the world's about to witness and see is a lot of things been based around what happened in Congo, and why, let's just get into it. Kikongo, the language of creation, the real Hebrew. All right, why do I say it's the real Hebrew? Because this was the language, the tongue that the Old Testament prophets was speaking in. This was the language and the tongue that the Most High spoke to Moses and all of the prophets. All right. And, this language was hidden. It was taken away and it was hidden because the enemy, the serpentine seed, wanted to, cut off the people from being a nation, the children of the book. So when he did that, he had to replace their language with a version of their language, because Hebrew is a version of Kikongo. It's actually a more diluted version of Kikongo. Because Hebrew is a German and Slavic language that got its dialects from Kikongo, which is one of many Bantu languages from Bantu-speaking people. And what they did was, when they went into Congo and they sought to destroy the Congo and scatter the people, then they wanted to replace the people and become the people. So that's one of the things that they did. They wanted to have a new create a new state of Israel, or Isolole. They wanted to create a new children of the book, right? That's where, I talk about Revelation 2:9-3:9. So they wanted to create a new set of people that was going to be God's chosen people. They wanted to create, have a new landmass that was going to be the promised land, which, they call Israel today, but it's really a very small piece of the pie, like very small piece of the true promised land that was given to Isolole. And they wanted to hide the true language and create, bring this new language out, which they all had to go in schools and learn how to speak this language, right? Because it's not even their mother tongue. But they had to lie and create, this whole new set of beliefs for the whole world to believe that they were the people. And the people that were truly the people went into slavery at the time, right? So let's get some scripture to back up a little bit what I'm saying. I have a lot of videos on here, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube explaining this history, what really happened and what's really going on, and people don't seem to understand how important this is. All right, so we in Psalm 83. It says, "Oh Yah, do not remain silent." All right, this is a psalm of David who was speaking future prophecy about what was going to happen to us. "Oh Yah, do not remain silent. Do not turn a deaf ear. Do not stand aloof. Oh Yah, see how your enemies growl, how your foes rear their heads with cunning. With cunning they conspire against your people." So this is the important part right here, the most important part. This is where the prophecy, he's prophesizing into the future. With cunning they conspire against your people. Okay, cunning. The serpentine seed. If you saw the John 3:16 video, I talk about the serpentine seed. This is what they always do. They always use cunning. All right, they're cunning. They plot against those you cherish. Come, they say, let us destroy them as a nation, so that the name of Israel, before it was Israel, it was Isolole. See, but they had to change everything. So that the name of Isolole name is remembered no more. With one mind they plot together, they form an alliance against you. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarites, Byblos, Ammon, Amalek, Philistine, and the people of Tyre, even Assyria, has joined them to reinforce Lot's descendants. All right, so these are the people, these are the nations that came against us and begin to destroy us. All right, so the Ishmaelites and the Moab and the Hagarites, Byblos, these are the people that were called at these times. These were the people that was known as, the Arabs, the Black Moors, right? They were called the Moors, the Arabs. All right, so they were responsible for the East Indian Ocean's slave trade. So they was fighting us. They're known in history to be fighting the Igbo people in the land of in Africa, right? They was fighting us. They was capturing us. They was enslaving us, sending us east. And they was doing it with the help of Ammon, Amalek, and Philistine. Tyre, these were the children of Ham. These are the Hamitic tribes that were also in Africa at the time. These were African tribes, African people. All right, so this is one of the reasons why Ghana in 2019, they came out and they apologized for their involvement in our slavery. All right, because why? They were of Hamitic descent and we are of Shemitic descent. All right, we're not the same people, even though we're black and we're dark skinned, we're melanated. They try to make us all seem like we are all the same people. They know that. We know that. That's why they helped fight against us and put us in slavery. They knew that they was fighting against Yah's children and they were sending them into slavery with the help of the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites will sell us to the children of Edom. And the children of Edom made up of the vanguards, the Greeks, the Vikings, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Belgium, Portugal, and all of the European nations now which are in power that's ruling over the whole world with the Ishmaelites. That would be including the Canada and America today would be part of the kingdoms of Edom, which the Most High has prophesied he's going to also destroy all of their kingdoms. So these were the nations that conspire against us. And if you know about the Berlin Conference, they went there and they sat there for 4 months. And they plotted how they was going to take over Africa, and they was going to start with Congo. They knew that they had to take down Congo and the children in Congo. And once they took down Congo, they could rule all of Africa, because Congo is the richest piece of land on the face of the earth today. Its estimated worth is in the trillions, just the land alone. So they had to exploit Congo. They had to destabilize it, the people politically. They had to destroy the children of Isolde that was there, that set up their kingdoms and their camps there, that were from there. They had to create lies. They had to part the land, create new borders um, in order to destroy Africa. They knew once they did this, they could basically destroy all of Africa and steal all of its resources. All right, so I'm in Wikipedia right here, and it says, just reading off Wikipedia, what Wikipedia says about the Congo language, spoken language, Congo language. Congo or Kikongo is one of the Bantu languages spoken by the Congo people living in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Republic of Congo, Angola, and Gabon. It is a tonal language. It was spoken by many of those who were taken from the region and sold as slaves in the Americas, okay? The Americas, North and South America, all right? And the Caribbean islands. All right, so we clearly see that our ancestors spoke this language, Kikongo, all right? So this is kind of proof what I was saying, all right? They knew that they had to take slaves from, they knew that they had to bring down certain people. See, when they went into Africa, they didn't go into Africa to fight against the Hamitic tribes. You know, like the people in Ghana and West Africa, some of the people in Nigeria, you know, some of the people in Egypt and all. They didn't go in there to fight and to enslave them. They went in there to look for a certain group of people that spoke a certain language. That was Yah's chosen people. They went in there to fight and enslave them because they already knew that the curses was on us and Yah was no longer with us at this time. For this time being, because the curses of Deuteronomy 28 was on us and with us. All right, so let's dive into the language. So we have Kikongo, the language of creation, the real Hebrew. We're going to see how this language is a spiritual, very, very spiritual language. All right, so what is the meaning of Congo? Congo has three meanings, all right? There's three definitions to the word Congo. Now, you know, today you may see Congo spelt with a C, but before it was with a C, it was with the letter K. The letter K is the original name that it was spelled with before they changed it, because they have to keep changing everything to keep hiding everything. All right, what is the meaning of Congo? Congo has three meanings. All right, no particular order, but this is what I'm just going off of. Again, let me just put it out there. I'm not a Kikongo expert, or I'm not an expert in this language. Maybe not an expert yet in this language. But I'm gonna prove to you, you know, what the Most High and other people already has proven, is that this was the language of creation, and why it's called the language of creation. It's a very, very spiritual language once you start to understand the meanings. All right. Another thing too, is it the only one? No, it's not the only one. All right, but it's one of the main spiritual Bantu tongues. There's other spiritual Bantu tongues, but this is one of the main ones. All right, so what is the meaning of Congo? All right, so the first meaning or definition of Congo is center. All right, center. All right, so Congo is known to the Congolese people as a piece of land that is the center of the whole universe. It is the center of the world. It is the center of the universe. All right, if you go into your Google Maps, if you put in 0 degrees longitude, if you put 0 degrees latitude, the center of the world is going to take you right to Congo. All right, this is where the garden is. All right, so I'm going to put the garden. All right, this is where the garden is. All right, this is the garden. This was Eden. Eden. It is Eden. It is where the original man was pulled out of this place. All right, pulled out of the ground in this place. All right, so the original man, if he was alive today, would be known as a Congolese man. All right, the first man, Adam. All right, you have to do some research if you don't believe that. Go look up National Geographic. They'll show you. All right. So it is the center of the world, the whole world. This is where the Most High began, started, and this is why, again, this is why this location was also part of the promised land that was given to Usolili as an inheritance, and not the deserts in the Middle East. That's just part of it. Um, it is a very, very green pasture place. I know because I've been there, and it is unbelievable how green it is. It's only two seasons. It's only summer and dry season. Well, rainy season and dry season. That's it. There's no such thing as fall. Like the leaves don't turn yellow and fall to the ground ever. I mean, it's a very blessed place. I mean, it is lush, lush green. I mean, when I was there, all I kept thinking was like, wow, I feel like an ant in a garden, like in a backyard or something, right? Like it's just feel like you're in a giant jungle, giant garden. All right, so it's called center. The second meaning is truth. So Congo means center. Congo also means truth. And the third meaning is belt. All right, so Congo means center. Congo means truth. Congo means belt. So what is the meaning of Congo? These are the meanings of Congo. So mind you, think of languages nowadays, and think of what is the meaning of that language. The languages that we speak today don't have such a spiritual, profound meaning behind to it. All right, and then of course, you have, let me put this in. You have key. So what does key means? All right, and we see this in a lot of Asian movies, right? Key means, you hear this in a lot of, in more mostly in Japanese culture, but there's a reason why we have ki also. In Japanese culture, ki would be life force, also power. All right, ki, life force, power, and kikongo. Ki is also used in a phrase to talk about tradition. All right, so ki, life force, power, tradition, truth, center, belt. All right, this is the meaning of this language right here, right? This is the introduction to the meaning of the language. You have to understand what Congo means. So no, Congo does not mean giant monkeys. Congo does not mean killer apes. All right, this was a mockery that they had to do to the people of Congo, to us, to our ancestors. Again, this is the mockery that they do to program killer apes and King Kong, you know what I'm saying, into your subconscious. So when you think of Congo, you think of giant apes. You know how they called us monkeys, right? And they still do, right? They call us monkeys, right? So all of those movies was a mockery unto the Most High and the Most High's people, and they all going to be judged for this. All right, so that's how you have this is the introduction to Kikongo. All right, center, truth, belt. All right, Ephesians 6:13 says, "Therefore put on the full armor of Yah Congo, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything to stand, stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist." You see that? All right, belt of truth. So what is Congo? Congo is the belt of truth. All right, buckled around your waist. So Congo is the buckle of the whole world. You go all around the world, right? So when you put on your belt, your buckle, right, it's under your navel, right? So your belt is under your navel, your buckle, your buckle is right under your navel. Congo is also known as the navel of the earth. You know, Africa is known as the navel of the earth. Congo is known as the navel of the earth. All right, so Congo is the belt of truth. Congo is the truth. And this is the truth that's going to set many people free. And this is the truth that the world is not going to be able to deny, you know, once this come out. Now you know the meaning of Congo. So let's get some meanings of, let me do a quick little introduction before I get into the language of creation part. Let me do a quick little introduction of some names in Congo, get some definitions, so you start to see the power. So first we have all caps. We got Ya Congo. All right, Ya Congo. All right, that's the Yah is, you know, would be our Yah, or, you know, people say God nowadays, so it would be like our God of truth, or, you know, our God that is the center of us, our God who is our belt of truth that holds us up, right? Holds up the garment, holds up the armor, right? So we have the full armor of Yah as the center of that armor. Holds everything up. Yah Congo is the center. So, you know, people, that's one of the names that they will call the Father. They'll call him Yah Congo. So notice how the name Yah has already been in our language. You know, so in the Hebrew, when, you know, they was translating our language, they kept Yah, you know, but they didn't want to keep the Congo part, right? But Yah Congo. All right. Then you have Jesus. So Jesus, right? Of course, we all know his name wasn't Jesus. In the Hebrew is Yeshua, or right? Yeshua, yeah, Yeshua, the Hamashiach, right? So in Hebrew they would say Yeshua. Some people would say Yahweh Shai, and all these other Y pronunciations. And even in Kikongo, you have Yesu, which is Yesu, but that's also was a more modern translation. Some people say Yesu, and you can see the similar spelling in the spelling. But we know his name was in Jesus. But the name that stuck with me the most, that the Most High has shown me, revealed to many of us, is Yesaya. Yesaya Congo. All right, Yesaya Congo. All right. Let's spell this right. Yesaya Congo. All right, so we're gonna break down, and the beauty about the name Yesaya is that we're gonna break down this name. All right. So we're gonna break down the name Yisa, right? And you're gonna see that Kikongo is the only one, the only language that has this, um, definition because, Yeshua, Yahshua, um, even the name Isaiah, Yahawashai, they all translate to Yah is salvation. That's the translation. Yah is salvation. But Isaiah is translated to he who comes. And then you have, of course, the Yah, right? But yeah, Isaiah is translated to he who comes in the name of Yah. All right. So excuse me, Yisa. Yisa is he who comes. That's what Yisa means. Yisa means he who comes. And then you have Yah, Isaiah, Isaiah, he who comes in the name of Yah, the truth. Isaiah Congo. All right. Yah Congo, Isaiah Congo. These are some of the names uh, of the Father and the Son. All right. There's other names. There's many other names of Yah Congo. There's many other variations. All right, because remember he has many names. All right, he has many names. He has many titles. Many titles. Isaiah also has other names, other titles. Another name they call him was Kuswa. Kuswa Congo. I don't know how to spell Kuswa. And I don't know the meaning of Kuswa, so I'm not gonna try to attempt to break it down. So let's look at some other names that's interesting. Moses. Moses in the Hebrew and Moses in Kikongo is Masa. All right, Masa. Masa in Kikongo means water. All right, so it's I don't know how to say it in a phrase like can I have some water? And I'm sure there's another word also for water, but Masa also means water. Because Moses was drawn out of water, and he also delivered the children of Israel through water. So his name Masa, water. Another name is we have Noah. In Kikongo, it's I think I'm spelling this is no. Nook. I think I'm spelling this wrong, so forgive me. I couldn't find it. I know where I read it, but I couldn't find it. But it's pronounced Noka, Noka, right? And Noka also means could be spelling this right. I know I'm spelling this wrong. One of these got to be the correct spelling. So Noka is pronounced Noka, Nokai, Noka. And Noka also means to rain. Very interesting because it's thundering and raining right now. So Noka means to rain. Noka means to rain. I don't know how to say it in a dialect, but that's what it means, to rain. Noka. So you have your Congo, Isai Congo, Isa. So you start to see the spiritual meaning behind the names. All right. So the names of these prophets are also in the names of the elements. So everything is connected. The name of the fathers, the name of the sons, everything is connected. All right, so now let's get into the language of creation part. Let me give you guys a quick Bible verse about the name Messiah. Um, so if you go John 5 chapter 43, you'll see he says, I have come in my Father's name. There's other verses too I can't think of right now where it basically says, he comes in the name of the Father. But you see, he says, I have come in my Father's name. So Yeshaya means he who comes in the name of Yah. He comes in his Father's name, and everything he did was in the name of the Father and to bring glory to the Father. So that's why when he taught us to pray, he said, this is how you pray, our Father who art in heaven. All right, so Yisa came as a representation of the Father on earth. All right. So now let's look at why it's called the language of creation. All right, because we know when you go back into Genesis chapter 1. So this is the only language, and I also got to let me give some honor, some credit to where I got a lot of this information from. Is a book called The Most Intellectual Language in the World, and is written by Pastor Mello, and I will also be putting that link or the description or the name of the book in the description. I don't know if I could find the link for the book. Those of you who have my personal contact, I can send you the book. All right, so it's called In the Beginning. Where the Most High was creating the earth, the heavens and the earth. In verse 3, which was basically the first thing that that he did. And I remember when the first time I read this on my own, when I read this verse, it did something to me. I never forget that. All right. In Congo, all right, verse 3, it says, in Congo said, let there be light. So, first, let me do this. All right, number 1. What does number 1 mean? All right, 1. What does 1 mean? So number 1, what does it mean? How do you say 1 in Congo? And the way you say it's Masi. All right, Masi. That's how you say Masi. So Masi is pronounced two different ways. It's one S-I and two S-I. Masi means 1, and it also means in the beginning. That's not how I spell beginning. I suck at spelling, yeah. That's why we have. That's how you spell it, right? Okay, there we go. For some reason I can't spell when I'm writing on the computer, going fast. All right, Masi means 1, and it also means in the beginning. All right, in the beginning, at the beginning, or whatever. I don't really know how to say it in a phrase. All right, and in the beginning, the Most High created. In verse 3, it says, he says, let there be light. Light. And the way you say light in the kikongo is Semo. S-E-M-O. Now, this is how It's the language where everything is relative to each other and is a family of words. So in light, you have semo, that's light. All right. Then you have another word is semi, which means seed, seed. Um, all right. So semo, you have semi, which means seed. Then from semi, no particular order, but you have semo, you have semi, and then from semi you get sermo, which means the word. All right, so you have semo, which means light, semi, seed, sermo, the word. See the family? It's a family of words, yeah. And then you have sema, which means to create. You have sema, which means to create, and it also means to speak. So look at the family of words. So this is why it's called the language of creation. You can see the spirituality in the language. Um, you can't break other languages down like that. You can't break the Hebrew down like that. This is why they had to hide this language. You see, we already had this language before we came off the slave ship. So what does that mean? What does that say? Does that mean now that we converted to Christianity because we had no religion or spirituality or no nothing, no culture? We was practicing voodoo and occult? Lies. Lies. You know, they stole what they stole from us to go create Judaism, Christianity that was mixed with paganism, because they stole from the Egyptians, the Egyptian paganism, and they stole from our books, right? And to create this new religion. So they had to create everything new, a new religion, a new Yesaya, a new language, a new people, new territories. The devil had to flip everything upside down. But look at this. In the beginning, Masi. In the beginning, Masi. The beginning. The first thing, Masi. The Most High. He's also known as the seed scatterer. He's known as the seed scatterer. All right. He's the one who scatters the seed among the world. The seed. Right. So the seed scatterer. The Most High said, "Let there be semo." He spoke. The Most High, sermo, said, "Let there be semo." He spoke, and he created sema. And notice the word sermo is the word, and that's why a lot of pastors, they said, "I'm gonna get ready to preach a sermon," right? They say, "I'm gonna preach a sermon," but they don't know that sermon actually comes from it's a Bantu word from Kikongo, sermo. Yeah, I had to close the door. These babies always yelling and crying. So yeah, sermo, the word or sermon, sema, to create, to speak, semi, the seed. I mean, just look at it. It's all family of words. In the that's why it's called a language of creation. This was the language that the Most High was speaking. All right. So let's go into the second one. Number 2. All right. So day 2, number 2. And Yah said, "Let there be expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate waters from the waters. And Yah Congo, Yah Abe, Yahve, Yambe made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse, and it was so. And Congo called the expanse heaven. So, and there was evening and there was morning on the second day. So this is what he expands in. It's what he created. You know, he revealed the heaven or the sky. So two is, how do you say two? Or two also meaning the second day. Two, what did he do? Zole. So that's how you say two. Zole. And Zole, he created the heaven. Now, let me just say this. There are many Bantu languages, and a lot of Bantu languages have the same words, different meanings. So just remember that. So he created, two, Zole, he created the heaven. Let me take off the S. He created heaven, and heaven is Zulu. Zulu. So you see the correlation. Zole created the heaven. Zulu. All right. And another word that you would get out of this family word, Zole, Zulu, is love, which is Zola. Zola. All right. Because it takes two. See that? It takes two to love. It takes two for love to be created. Zola, heaven, Zulu, two, Zole. Beautiful, right? It's almost poetic. It's almost poetic. Let's go to the next one, which is going to be 3. So, 3 is um, 3 is Tatu. 3 is Tatu. So 3, and Yah said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. Congo called the dry land earth, and the waters were gathered together. He called the seas, and Congo saw it was good. So he called the dry land earth. So this was the revelation of the earth, right? So the earth is Toto, or Tutu. I don't know if it's Tutu or Toto, Tutu, but 3 is Tatu. Earth is Toto or Tutu. And out of that, you get the trees, because earth, tree. Out of that, you get the tree, and the way you say tree is T. T. So you don't say tree, say T. And out of that, you get grass, right? The grass, the leaves, the trees. You get grass, and grass is Titi. Titi. So, at number 3, Tatu created the earth. Toto, trees, T, grass, Titi. family of words. All right. I'm not gonna do 4, 5, and 6 because of the sake of time. And number 4 is so day 4 is so complex because I didn't know how powerful the number 4 was, that it kind of needs its own, own little segment, own little time. So I'm just giving you guys like the basic stuff. This is all basic because this actually is really deep. I read a couple books. One book I read multiple times, still trying to figure out. So we're not gonna do 4, 5, and 6 for the sake of time, but we're gonna jump into 7. All right, we're gonna jump into 7.